In the remote village of Sleepy Hollow, where mist clings to the trees like ghostly fingers, a sinister legend haunts the autumn nights. As the full moon rises, casting an eerie glow over the silent landscape, whispers of the dream harvester send shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. They say he comes when the veil between worlds is thinnest, a figure of nightmare with a flaming pumpkin for a head. His hollow eyes burn with an otherworldly hunger, for he feeds not on flesh and blood, but on the very essence of dreams. Young Tom, a skeptical farmer with a heart full of courage and a mind clouded by doubt, scoffed at the old wives' tales. But on this fateful night, as the wind howled through barren branches, he found himself venturing into the forbidden forest. The crunch of dead leaves beneath his feet echoed in the oppressive silence. Shadows danced at the edge of his vision, taunting him with glimpses of things that should not be. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the gloom. A mummy, its face a blank canvas of terror. Turn back, it rasped, its voice like dry leaves scraping stone. Leave before he comes, before the harvest begins. But Tom's pride would not let him flee. As he pressed on, the air grew thick with an unnatural chill. Ghostly wisps of fog coiled around his ankles, and distant, mournful cries echoed through the trees. Then he saw it, a towering silhouette, crowned by a jack-o'-lantern ablaze with hellfire. The dream harvester had come. Tom ran, his heart pounding like a war drum in his chest. But with each step, he felt himself growing weaker, as if the very essence of his being was being torn away. He dared to look back, and what he saw froze his blood. Tendrils of spectral light streamed from his head, carrying fragments of memories, hopes, and fears. The dream harvester's hollow eyes gleamed with triumph as it devoured Tom's most precious dreams. As dawn broke over Sleepy Hollow, the villagers found Tom wandering the forest's edge, his eyes vacant, his mind a shattered husk. But the true horror was yet to come, for in the days that followed, as Tom's empty gaze stared into nothingness, the villagers realized a chilling truth. The dreams the harvester had stolen were not lost. They now played out in the waking world around them, a tapestry of nightmares made flesh. And as the autumn winds whispered through the trees, carrying the scent of decay and the promise of another full moon, the people of Sleepy Hollow knew that their own dreams might be next to feed the insatiable hunger of the harvester. In the remote village of Sleepy Hollow, where mist clings to the trees like ghostly fingers, a sinister legend haunts the autumn nights. As the full moon rises, casting an eerie glow over the silent landscape, whispers of the dream harvester send chills down the spines of even the bravest souls. They say he comes when the veil between worlds is thinnest, a terrifying figure with a flaming pumpkin for a head. His hollow eyes burn with an otherworldly fire, seeking out the deepest fears and most cherished dreams of the unwary. With each step, the crunch of fallen leaves echoes like breaking bones, heralding his approach. Young Tom, a skeptical farmer with a heart full of ambition, scoffed at the old wives' tales. But on this fateful night, as the wind howled through barren branches, he found himself thrust into the heart of the forest. The elders had sent him on a fool's errand, they said, to prove his worth. Little did Tom know, he was about to face a nightmare beyond imagination. As he ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew thick with an unnatural chill. Shadows danced at the edge of his lantern's light, taking on grotesque forms that vanished when he turned to look. Suddenly, a figure emerged from the darkness, a faceless mummy, its bandages fluttering in a non-existent breeze. Turn back, it rasped, its voice like dry leaves scraping stone. Leave before he comes, before the harvest begins. But Tom's pride wouldn't let him flee. He pressed on, even as an otherworldly wind began to howl, carrying with it the faint cries of lost souls. Ghostly figures flitted between the trees, their hollow eyes fixed upon the foolish mortal who dared to trespass. Then, he saw it, the dream harvester. Its pumpkin head blazed with hellfire, casting long shadows that seemed to reach out with grasping fingers. Tom's blood turned to ice as the creature's gaze fell upon him, and he ran. Branches whipped at his face, roots threatened to trip him, but still he fled. Yet no matter how fast Tom ran, the dream harvester was always right behind him, its fiery breath hot on his neck. As he stumbled into a moonlit clearing, Tom felt an icy tendril pierce his mind. To his horror, he saw his own dreams, of fame, fortune, and escape from this backwater village, being pulled from his very thoughts. The true terror wasn't the monster's appearance, but the realization that dawned on Tom as he watched his aspirations drift away like wisps of smoke. For in that moment, he understood the village's dark secret. The dream harvester was onto some outside evil. It was born from the collective fears and crushed hopes of Sleepy Hollow itself. As consciousness slipped away, Tom's last thought was a chilling one. Tomorrow, he would wake up in his bed, with no memory of this night. But something vital would be missing, leaving only an emptiness he could never explain. And when autumn came again, he too would whisper warnings to the next generation, perpetuating the cycle of the nightmare harvest.